that the world is realizing the truth about Muslims. Son, I mean, I knew it was just a matter of time, you know. But let's go ahead. Let's listen to what they have to say. Oh, and by the way, this is from Smash MMA.
Jesus Christ.
He had this hate of Muslims, and he was going to blow up a mosque.
My hatred of Islam. It was the only thing that was keeping me alive.
Wow. It's a weakness in our religion.
You're never gonna fool me.
Hello everyone, welcome to the most active and consistent channel of all time. Today I've got a couple of good interesting clips for you guys and we are gonna react to them, and they are tied together with a very interesting and important subject. First clip is Joe Rogan speaking about this overly patriotic American guy who hated Muslims so bad that he was planning to build a go place it inside an Islamic center and a mosque, and how this guy turned from hate to love and converted to Islam after interacting with Muslims and learning the truth about Islam and reversing the effects of years and years of brainwashing and propaganda.
There was a guy who was on this podcast, John Bernthal. He was talking about this guy that he interviewed. He was going to blow up a mosque. He had this hate of Muslims after coming back from overseas, from serving, and he was going to blow up a mosque. And he went in there and he met this woman who welcomed him into the mosque, and he was still totally intent on blowing her up, blowing everybody up. She invited him over her home for dinner. He was still intent on it. So he gets to know her and his family, completely changes course, becomes a devout Muslim. Wow. And then talked about the whole experience.
My hatred of Islam. It was the only thing that was keeping me alive.
See, the truth of the matter is a lot of people really don't know anything about Islam, except for what the mainstream media tells them. When you hear people talking really bad about Islam, I want you to ask him this question. What did a Muslim do to you? You specifically. What did a Muslim do to you specifically? A lot of them don't have any bad experience with Muslim. The only reason they have hatred for Islam is simply because, well, the power out there, they don't like what Islam stands for. So they want to make sure that people hate Islam as much as possible, because then it gives them the green card to do whatever they want, aka 20-year war in Afghanistan, aka Israel, Palestine. You get what I'm saying, right?
I saw an opportunity to do one last thing for my country. This was my rationale. I was going to make my own IED, and I was going to set across the Islamic Center over in a bank's parking lot, and I was going to dial it in and just watch the show. I remember my daughter looking at me like I was absolutely the craziest person on the face of the earth. I decided to give.
You are. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, you are. Blowing up, whether mosque, church, synagogue, you name it. Wherever you try to blow up innocent people, you're the most insane person alive.
The people of this community one more chance. Long story short, 8 weeks after that first day I stepped into the Islamic Center, I became a Muslim. Judaism had a message, Christianity had a message, Islam had a message. Funny thing is, though, it was the same message. It was about peace, and it was about love. My big thing is now to stop the hate. Nothing good has ever come out of hatred.
So as you see guys, the moment somebody interacts with Muslims in real life, at the minimum he realizes that they are human beings just like him, flawed but also have a lot of good, and this destroys that image of the boogeyman that the media try to establish for years and years through their various means of propaganda like Hollywood and the mainstream media. And this brings me to this video posted by the UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell, where he speaks about the nation of Israel and how he loves Muslims.
Let me tell you something about 9/11. Ain't no Muslims did 9/11. 9/11 was done by Israel, the same people that raped those kids on Epstein's Island. All of y'all can go to hell. Israel hates Jesus Christ. They hate Jesus Christ. The nation of Israel hates Jesus Christ. They fit the description of Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, the synagogue of Satan. The nation state of Israel is the synagogue of Satan. You corrupted evil bastards. You did 9/11. You blamed it on the Muslims. Guess what? I love Muslims. You're never going to fool me. Muslims love Jesus Christ. The only people that hate Jesus are the synagogue of Satan, is Israel.
So yeah, First of all, I just want to go ahead and say that he retracted what he said. He got a lot of heat for that. This is pretty much, let me go ahead so you guys can focus on me, right? This is pretty much how the majority of Americans feel. You know what I mean? This is how they feel. The whole, oh, we love Israel, oh, we love, it's all fake. It's not real. Just recently, Israel went ahead and threw $43 million to YouTube saying, hey, we want you to just bombard the youth with our propaganda. We want them to love us even more. So here's $43 million and just show them our ads. And now they're buying TikTok. Yeah, with the Zionists buying TikTok, more restriction on speech. You can't say anything bad about Israel or else your video gets taken down. It's all artificial. What he said, he meant what he said. Although he retracted what he said, he meant what he said. And I'm telling you right now, this is exactly how the majority of Americans feel when it comes to the state of Israel. Over 50% of Americans do not like the state of Israel. And right now, if Iran decides to start raining rockets down on them again, the majority of not only American, the world will be thrilled about it. The 12-day war, when it happened, they even made a song, and the song had to be taken down. You know, boom, 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 Tel Aviv. This is what you get for all your evil deed. That's just a snippet of the whole song literally had to be taken down on YouTube because it became viral. And people took that song and then the recording of Israel getting bombed and they put it together. And I'm telling you, it was everywhere. They were even singing it in Iran, bro. This is how bad the situation is in the state of Israel. Nobody likes them. Nobody. Well, I wouldn't say nobody. The politician who likes to diddle kid, they still like him because, you know, blackmail him, you know.
You guys can see this is something that I see again and again every day on social media of people realizing the truth, breaking away from the brainwashing and turning to the real source of danger that's been using Islam and Muslims as a scapegoat to turn the people's eyes away from the evil they commit, which also in return helps garner the support for their never-ending wars against Muslims in our Muslim lands. And the result, millions and millions of Muslims dead, Muslim countries destroyed, and more hate bred into the hearts and minds of people. Christians and Muslims actually have a lot in common. Part of believing or part of being Muslim is believing in Jesus and all the prophets.
He's not wrong. If only Christian would read their Bible, to be honest with you, I think if they do, they'll be a lot more in line with the Muslim than the Jews. This whole idea of Judeo-Christian is false. Yeah. You see, in Israel, they mock Jesus. They say Jesus is burning in human feces. They spit on Christians. They blow up churches. They kill Christians. But, you know, according to some Christians here in the United States, Muslims are their enemy. They love the Jews more than the Muslims. According to them, those who love Israel, those who love, those who, not love, I'm sorry. Those who bless the state of Israel, God will bless them. Yeah.
And this brings me to this clip from Joe Rogan where he speaks about the names Muhammad and Jesus, where he says there are millions of Muhammads all over the world where Christians do not name their kids Jesus.
You can't do that.
How come you can name your son Muhammad? How come you can't name your son Jesus?
Yeah.
Think about how many Muhammads there were. Think about if it was like
The most popular.
FYI, that's a fulfillment of a prophecy. That's a whole different topic. But, you know, there was a prophecy that God told Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that, you know, he will make his name known. And literally, the most known name in the world is Muhammad. Even though Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had no man lineage that made his way down. Because back then, you know, when you have a son, the son carries your name. You know what I mean? Like they have other kids and then those carry. That's how they kind of did it back then. All his son died. The only one that survived was his daughter. And normally the lineage does not go through the daughter. You know what I mean? But yet, the most popular name in the world is his. There was a prophecy, but like I said, that's a whole different story.
In the world,
if
right?
it was in vogue to name your kid Jesus.
Right. Right, just millions of Jesuses.
So many Jesuses.
right.
Because if you think about how many Muhammads there are, why are there not an equal number of Jesuses?
Right.
Because we don't allow it. It's a weakness in our religion.
And I guess he's wrong in two ways here, because if you look at Latinos, for example, they name their kids Jesus, which means Jesus. But also for Muslims, as I said, because Jesus is a very important figure in Islam, I know so many people with the name Isa, which is the Arabic for Jesus. The amount of people named Isa in the Muslim nations and Muslim countries could actually be in the millions, because he's a very important figure for Muslims.
And with that being said, I want you to go ahead and name me one Jewish person named Isa or Jesus. Anyways, I just want to go. I gotta throw one more jab before I leave, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I gotta throw one more jab. So Christians out there, this whole idea of Judeo-Christian, right? It's a lie. It's a way of using you to, ethnically cleanse the Middle East. Just know that. Because without your support, they can't do what they're doing. And with that being said, if you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys up later.